We went to our farm and to do harvesting. It was quite an interesting adventure for us as beekeepers. And as we prepare for harvesting, we set up our smokers, then dressed, then went straight to the hives and start working on our hives. You can see the bees are actually happy bees at this moment and really been bustling around and extremely aggressive as well. So beautiful to have your bees working so hard for you and you go and get honey, you know. And one unique things about bees is that you cannot always get a full of your combs having honey completely. Some half of it will be honey and then half of it also will be let me say brood. So as you can see from the video, part of it is actually honey, but it's not contains broods. So we will cut that one out and put it aside. We will not add it to the honey we're harvesting. We remove places, areas where there are honey, and then leave the places that there are no honey. And where there are broods, we leave them out. We put them in a place whilst we continue doing our harvest. And we have to be using the smoker and to be smoking a little to keep the bees calm a little whilst we are doing the harvest. We also at times when you are doing the harvesting and you end up removing the small areas where there are honey, it actually helps the hives in the sense that it forces the bees to do more. And when you come back for harvesting, you realize that they done well on that part, and you're able to. One of the most benefit aspect of that is that it actually helps you to get more honey as well. So we finish with the harvesting and we have to replace the broods back, and so we are just cutting fresh sticks from the bush, and then you measure it from the base to the edge of the top bar. So we cut all of them to the same sizes, which we use to support the combs, the broods, or the combs that have no honey or broods in it. We actually replaces them in the hive. As you can see, we are replacing this particular comb. Part is brood, part is empty. There is a huge benefit of doing this. Since the bees have to gather materials to produce a comb themselves, it takes time to produce honey. At times, most often when they discard the brood that have babies in them, the broods in them, and then you end up more or less taking away the honey and leaving the rest, throwing the rest away, hoping that the bees will come and work and gather all those important materials to come and do the honey. It takes time. It naturally takes. At times you go and you not get honey. If you have to wait once a year to harvest, if you want to do twice in a year, it will not be favorable. So we make sure that we maintain the combs with the brood or empty combs. We use the bees activity to go and look for more materials to come and construct a new comb all over again. And when time comes and you come for harvest, these same old broods that we combs that we place them or put them back in the hive end up giving us much honey. So we're actually done with one of the hives and we move on to the next hive. We make sure that we cover it well. So we are with our next hive. The stones are quite heavy. The idea is to prevent wind from carrying it away. So we are checking where to open it from, because where the sound is more louder, believe that is where it would open it from. So you can see this particular one. See that they've done half honey and half no honey. The reason the bees does this is simple. It's because of small hive beetles. They have a lot of problem with small hive beetles. So the bees, in their wisdom, will do half honey, half brood or empty, so that they will be able to fight the small hive beetles not having access in destroying what they build. So they will always do half honey, half brood or empty broods. So they will do like the top half of it honey, once they half become brood, then they start doing the remaining half as well. So before the top one, the brood be matured and merge as a new worker bees or drones, then the remaining half is also getting mature. So the bees have that kind of cycle in the way of producing honey and the young ones. So you can see that we cut that form a circle because that's where the honey is. So there are some other parts there's honey, but there's some broods there. So that's where much honey. So you remove that part from it. So you can see these are old combs that we actually replace them back, put them back inside the hive after we did our last harvest. So you can see that those pieces we are removing shows that we added them all when we did the last harvest. So now that we can gotten a very good honey from this one. You don't have to wait a year to do harvesting if you do this. It's actually help you to able to get a good harvest. So at times when we do like this and we go for harvesting, we end up getting a very good harvesting of honey. This one you can see that there's more brood in it, but then we are removing the small honey away from it. So we don't remove all the honey, we do leave some of the honey inside it because honey itself is a food for the bees. So we intentionally don't take out all the honey, we do leave some for them as well, whilst we also take actually the majority. And since we normally leave the brood inside the hive, it's easy for the bees themselves to produce more quicker. Since our side here we don't breed bees, so you see earlier that we're even dropping some of the combs inside the hive, and the brood we are replacing them back. That one, part of it is mature, part of it is not mature, but then when we try to remove it was when we were thinking, checking whether it's a brood or honey, but when we check it was honey, so we take it. So we are using the stick again to support the combs that we are actually placing them inside the hive. This particular part, when you are doing it, you need to be very professional about it. You need to be careful, arrange it well on the sticks, and then support it well. If you fail to do that support, what happens is that it leads the comb to fall, and the moment the comb fall, it's going to serve as a breeding ground for small hive beetles. And within a short period of times, if your bees are unable to overcome them, they will leave. And honestly, the bees will leave if such an event happen, or when the small hive beetles actually invaded or have a very good place to produce their young. So this is another one, the third hive we're harvesting, and you can see those sticks in it. That means that we have done another harvest. We did the harvest prior, and we need to put this to put back the combs. So as you can see, this particular hive is giving us a lot of honey. You can see the honey and then the brood. That's so wonderful. Our bees are so resilient. So where the honeys are, and then maintain the brood. We put them back inside the hive. So we are removing the honey from it where the broods are. So we are placing the brood back, but we'll do it professionally after harvesting. Some of the time that we separate it outside from the hive, we normally put them inside the hive as well. So we are cutting out the honey. This is because the reason we cannot remove it all is that most often the bees normally don't do the comb along the bar or the top bar. They do it mixed up. So we also make sure that we take the measurement carefully, and then we cut it from inside before bringing the honey out. So here we are supporting the comb that we just placed in once we are doing the harvest. So you can see that the sticks that we use to support this particular harvest during this particular harvest that we did the last time, we supported it with so many sticks. So you can really see the stick in it. So this prevents the combs from falling. And as this harvest, almost all of them, they were honey in it, where we don't need to put any comb back. Some of them we put the comb back, but this one we really get honey from it because the bees were able to produce the honey, since they don't need to go and look for materials to come and do the whole comb. Only do you patch it, they only patch where it's necessary. So this particular hive really gave us honey because of what we did. So it's very important if you can carefully support the combs that contain fruits with these sticks. The sticks in the bush, you can get them all yourself. You can measure the base to the top of the top bar, and then you can cut them. You can design some nice sticks for them, and then when you're doing a harvest, just use it to support it. So we use those old combs, those sticks to support it. Just a very nice thing. I mean, at times when you go to harvest and then you see your work you did is yielding results, it gives you so calm, you feel so calm and confident and happy when you are doing your harvest. So wonderful. And our bees are quite very resilient, extremely hard-working bees. So this one, you can see that the bees have completed half of it honey. And then they really have, though the honey in it is actually mature, not like the one they sealed, just matured. So we will take everything, we brush the bees off, and then we take the entire comb. We're checking if these are broods, and the answer yes, they are small broods. So we intend moving those broods out from it. So they are very minute. The shaking is very important. The shaking, when you shake your top bar with the bees, they fall off into the hive or they fall off. So sometimes you don't really need to brush it. Just shake it and the bees will just fall off from it. They just go anymore. Just cut comb with the honey out. All this you have to place them back inside the hive. So believe that when we come again, we'll surely going to get honey. You can see the side that's where the new queen was actually produced. A new queen nest. You see, we supported this particular hive, this comb. It actually touched the base of the hive. But surprisingly for us, as we come to the harvest, the bees were able to wave it from the top to meet the one that we placed in, and then he lifted it from the base of the hive. So this was actually hanging. So unique, so unique. You don't know how they does it, because it actually touched those combs were all cut and placed back. And for you to come to do harvesting, you realize that the bees have actually mended, they repairs this where you cut, and then the comb that that touches the base of the hive is now in the air. It hasn't been hanged. It's so unique. When we experience such events, this one we intend not to. They break by itself, so we just have to remove the honey aspect and then support it with the sticks. So we are done with the harvesting actually, and then we are putting back the probes and the combs. This should be done carefully. Bees are very important, and since we have a lot of climate issues, predators of bees and all that, we also want to make sure that our bees don't have to spend much of their time constructing new combs. So we will always do this to support the activities in constructing only to just replace it. So our next time when we come to do harvesting, we'll show you this part of the hive, how unique it was. Why are we reading at this time? It's because our bees really don't like troubling. Like when you regularly go and engage in activities like this, it makes the bees feel they are in a very dangerous place.